You want to kick us off, Rev?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
How y'all know?
You ain't listening to the dang podcast.
I've been listening to it.
Hey, welcome back to the Simmons Sporting Goods All Things.
Caleb does
podcast.
a good job.
I know he does.
Let's
I mean,
I'll kick it off.
kick it off, but I'm gonna practice for next time.
Welcome back to the Simmons Sporting Goods All Things Hunting podcast. We here on the survived the first day of tent sale and had a good day. A lot of good deals, good stuff, and we all a little tired, but we made
road weary, a little tired.
First day of what, 14? How long? 17? How many days is it?
18.
18 days.
Yeah, don't shortchange us, dog. It's 18 days.
I didn't know
Through August 14th.
Yep, started.
2 weeks from Sunday. We've got a little ways to go.
But
I asked Lindsay if it was good, bad, or ugly today. She said good.
It was good. No,
yeah.
It was a good day. Good day. Thankful for all our customers that came out and burning all that high-dollar gas to get here and come see us and do some shopping. It was a good day.
You know, I know it's tent sale, but then I guess it was yesterday. I don't remember. There was a guy in here. Somebody said behind the counter, man, you can still, if you're just looking, but you want to buy a safe, you want to buy a gun, man, put that mug on layaway and come back no tax.
There's a lot of that going. There is a lot of that going on.
Hey, or if you want to buy a
$2,700
Raven, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Now's the perfect time. Go ahead and put it on layaway now. What a lot of guys are doing is pay everything but the tax. Come back and pick it up.
Yeah,
on no
or
tax.
you ain't got to pay nothing, or just pay $1 to, or whatever.
10%.
10%. That's right. That's it.
The minimum you can pay is 10% down. But if you wanted, most guys are like, hey, I want to save that.
Pay all but the tax.
all
and
but the tax
all they
and
got
come
to do is pick it up.
Pick it
the
up. That's
second,
the way to do
third. Is that right, Rev? Second, third, and 4th of September.
First weekend,
It's
Labor Day
always
weekend.
it's always the first Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of September.
Yeah.
I think that's right. The second, third, and 4th will be no tax.
Especially bows, gun safes.
Well, any
deer
big ticket,
stands?
big ticket
deer
item.
stands and gun safes
Because
to
it's,
me.
Sales tax and more on special like 11%.
You're going to save
10.5.
hundreds of dollars.
10.655%. So on like a $2,500 Raven crossbow, I mean, you're gonna save $250.
$250
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty good right there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of guys that wait all year just for no tax. I bet you we've had 6 or 7 calls.
Well, it's when we buy our deer stands.
Absolutely.
I know
think
how
it's
long
smart.
it takes me to edit these, and so when you hear this podcast, you better get to the tent sale quick because it's going to be probably about a week left.
Well, so once
when's it end, the 14th?
The tent sale ends on the 14th. It's 2 weekends between the end of the tent sale and no tax weekend.
And
First Saturday in September.
if we still are in supply of things in the tent sale catalog, we typically will carry those sale prices over into no tax.
Yes,
but
sir.
today's day one, dude, and we sold out of some stuff that we had pretty hefty quantities of.
I know the V3. We're going to leave that $750 price. That will be intact through no tax weekend. So I know a lot of people are wondering about that, but as quantities allow. So
right.
If we still got the bows, they'll be $750 until at least through no tax.
That sounds good. It's something I've been looking at in my spare time to try to get away from some hunting stuff. I can start this off really, really random. So, who's the greatest athlete of all time?
I mean,
I was not prepared to answer that question.
greatest
Well, we're talking
athlete of
about
all
hunting.
time.
Athlete of all time. That's
Everybody,
it.
the standard
That's who I
answer.
said too.
Well,
the
Jackson.
standard
But-
answer is always Bo Jackson.
But I mean, I don't know. Me and a friend of mine were talking about this the other day, and I mean, the big debate now, of course, NBA, LeBron and MJ. But man, Jordan was the goat.
he was the goat, dude.
I mean,
There ain't no comparing those two.
But I know
But-
he had a special. I mean, you're saying the best athlete of all time.
Of all
We're
time.
talking about a basketball
No.
legend.
But a lot of people say Herschel Walker too, and when I bring this up is Herschel Walker now is running for Senate in Georgia, and he's a Republican.
Is he a Republican?
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Hardcore Trump guy.
He's a Trump
Second
guy.
Amendment?
He's a Second Amendment guy. He's a
But he's
gun
getting
guy.
blasted every day.
Really? Well, we need to help him out.
That's right.
He's getting
Sportsman.
tore up. That's
Georgia, talking
Yeah.
politics, kind of was a swing state
Sure,
for
Big time
Republicans.
swing
yeah,
state.
maybe the biggest.
Well,
so,
if the votes were accurate.
but anyway,
we don't
another
know
thing
who
too.
Todd voted for.
Another talking about the greatest athlete of all time. I watched a funny video on August 4th, something big happened in the baseball world 2 different times. One time in 1980, one time in 1993, and that's when Nolan Ryan got charged on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Winfield did it first in 1980 on August 4th. And that's coming up.
was Robin Ventura.
Yeah. And
Worst mistake he ever made.
Yeah.
Roll around, whoop that ass is what happened.
Smoked him. I'm talking about smoked him good.
But I was laughing watching it. You know, Bo Jackson was on that White Sox team. And in that 93 debacle, in the first inning, Juan Gonzalez comes up to bat, and I think there's men on base. He's leading the league in home runs, and he just won the home run derby. He gets beamed. Boom. And Nolan Ryan's on the mound, well known for he's going to retaliate. I guarantee you, and knowing Bo Jackson from McAdory, Alabama is the Bastrop, Louisiana, kind of Monroe. McAdory's outside of Birmingham. I guarantee this, nobody knows this, but I bet. All right, let me backstep a little bit. Robin Ventura was like all that is good in baseball. And if you young kids, you know, if you looking up baseball, all the parents, they wanted to be like Robin Ventura. Bo Jackson got a little thug in him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he is not scared to rumble. You know, he's from McAdory, Alabama, like I said. When they come out off the field and they're going to grab their helmets, I guarantee you, Bo Jackson walked up to Robin Ventura, who's lead off, and says, "If you get beaten and you don't do nothing, you're a punk." I guarantee you.
You think?
You got to. He set him up for failure is
Yeah,
what he did.
He did.
So, but yeah, then you saw what happened next. But you know, that was actually Nolan Ryan's. He retired after that in '93. That was his best game too. He come back after that and threw a no hitter the rest of the game. He had already had a couple of hits.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Blood, and I mean, that's pretty awesome.
But anyway, Cole's a big baseball guy. I like watching
Really?
baseball. No, I mean
Cole?
he's not watching baseball, playing baseball.
You
I-
played
I
baseball?
love
I don't
baseball.
watch it.
I'm a
I ain't
huge
watched
baseball
baseball
fan.
in 15 years.
But you played baseball in high school?
Yeah, I played it, but I like
College?
football. I'm a football guy.
College?
No.
No?
But to tie that all together, you know, Bo Jackson, great hunt. He's a big time hunter too. Herschel Walker, Second Amendment guy, probably known as one of the top athletes in the world. We need to tie him into some
Heck yeah.
hunts or Simmons stuff. He's going to be a senator hopefully, and he wins in a couple months. And
We need to get him over here for no tax weekend. See if we can.
him
Call him.
plus all the Secret Service.
Yeah, give him a call. Give him a call, Kyle. Tell him right over. But deer season right around. I know it's freaking 112 degrees right now, and nobody wants to think about deer season, but it's coming. It is coming, and I actually started feeding this week, which every year I say I'm gonna start in the spring and all that, and then I don't. But I did do a little feeding this week, and got to looking at all my Moultrie feeders, man, on my farm. We used to use several different brands, and then I bought 4 or 5 Moultries a couple years ago, and they're very inexpensive compared to some of these other high dollar ones. And I leave them out. I don't take them up like I should. The batteries are still in them, corrosion, the whole shebang. You go put new AA batteries in some of those feeders that have been out there since 2016. Hit the test button, they spin just like brand freaking new.
I really like that. Moultrie's got that gravity feeder. I started using those a couple years ago, and man, I really like that.
So another thing I like about it is it's got like a little quick lock thing.
That's right.
You know, you turn it and lock it in, make a little half turn. So you can take, if you want to feed a spin feeder during deer season, then you want to do a protein feeder, maybe in the spring,
Right.
summer, whatever. You just pop one off and
It
pop
gives
the
you-
other one
that's
on.
right. Gives you more options there. So, but yeah, I like the gravity feeder. Works really well where I'm at.
And plus, if the motor is gone bad or whatever, the price it's not going to break the bank to buy that replacement unit. You don't have to buy the whole new feeder. You
That's
can just
right.
buy the motor part, pop it in like Caleb said.
I mean,
That's
I
right.
think that little feeder is on sale in the flyer for like $39.99, so $40. I mean,
For the
little
motor.
twist, yeah,
And
just a twist on.
It comes with the hardware. You can turn any barrel, an old 55-gallon drum, a 5-gallon bucket, or if you've got a feeder that, you know, a different brand, you can turn any barrel, you know, you just got all the hardware to mount it to it.
I'll give you a little tip when it comes to feeders and stuff. a lot of times you'll get discouraged if you wait till deer season and you just go pop up a spin feeder. The deer don't like it.
No.
You know, so now's the time to do it. But and then a second step to that, if you got the protein spouts and the spinner, put the gravity feeder up first so that there's always available corn or whatever
Right.
you're feeding it for whenever that deer walks by, so he can establish that as a feeding place. If it spends daylight and dark in the beginning and raccoons or something else eats it and that buck walks by at midnight and there's nothing there, he's not going to ever establish that
Right.
as a feeding place. But once you get on them and they get established to it, then you can switch it to the spinner. And we've had success that way. Just a little tip that we've learned the hard way. You know, put them up in the summer or put them up at the very end of the season, you know, when they got to have the food.
Right.
And don't just go stick it up a couple weeks before deer season and expect to have a lot of success.
I got one that's been up. Me and Cole actually put it up in March, during the NWTF banquet here in town. Hunter gave my son $200 and said, "Hey, put that on. There's you some raffle ticket money. If you win anything, me and you'll split it." Jackson wins a Moultrie feeder with the $200 Hunter gave him. I put it up, and I'm putting the corn in it, and Jackson tells Hunter, you know, "Hey, Dad put that feeder up, there's corn in it. Me and you're going to hunt over it. So all I got to do is keep the batteries in it and keep corn in it." And Hunter and Jack, I think Hunter got one over on me on that with the
I think he
$200. Because like I said, I put it up the first weekend in March. I'm going to have $1,500 worth of corn tied up in that thing time hunting season comes around.
That's right. We talking about how long they last too. We've always moving feeders. We've had feeders forever, since the beginning of time, it seems like. But sometimes on our porch at our camp, we'll have a bunch of old motors laying around, and we think they're all broken and hadn't thrown them away yet or nothing. And earlier this year, we were trying to clean some stuff up, and like every morning about 7 o'clock, you come outside, you hear like, "What is that noise?" It's an old Moultrie motor just spinning. You know, still on the timer, still going. Who knows how long it's been going with the battery in there, but.
So yeah, I think for the price, that feeder's definitely hard to beat, and then their cameras are hard to beat too. You know, they stepped in the cell cam world just like everybody else have, and we got them. If you got the flyer in your mailbox, check out the Moultrie page on there, and if not, SimmonsSportingGoods.com. You can shop all 48 pages right there on your laptop, phone, iPad, whatever.
Yeah, we were looking at the Delta for the tent sale special on it, $79.
That's for a cell cam, and that's AT&T or Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a heck of a deal.
That's right. I got one running right now in Oklahoma. I'll overlay a picture of a deer that's on him right now, but it's been working just as good as our other one. So
Starting to get a few pictures.
Yeah, we're getting some. Here's another thing too. We heard, so we run it on feeders mostly during this time of year, or if you're in a certain area of the world where they like salt licks or trophy rocks or whatever, you know, where we are they don't like that, so it's just corn poured on the ground, or we've got established feeders. But we like to inventory our deer and see what they're going to be, who lived, I heard that.
Cool.
And
hey, that is the sound of a well-deserved Cole Miller Lite opening after a long first day of tent sale.
You're right. But so we, you know, this time of the year, the end of July, beginning of August, the bucks are finishing up growing their horns. How long do you think they got left? I know it's different parts of the country. They're born earlier and rut earlier, so it's a little different. But where we are in Oklahoma, they got about a week left, before they start really just hardening up and not growing as much.
Should be pretty close. I mean, this time of year. I did get some pictures about 2 weeks ago. I've still got, this is what's crazy to me, I still got a doe and looks like she's pregnant. And so I went back and looked. I always forget, but gestation for whitetails, 201 days.
Yep. Me and you just talked about that the other day.
So she would have had to been bred in January.
Hey, that dude, I had them born in August.
Really?
They were bred in February.
She's
yeah,
so
but the
big.
ruts, where you are, the ruts a
That's
lot
later.
later than where you typically, for us, the week of Thanksgiving is prime time.
Yeah. I mean,
rut.
they're chasing.
And usually have, some come back in, to the 10th of December, you kind of see a little second rut activity a little bit.
But she would have had to been bred in January to still be,
You may not believe this, but I've seen horns like into March. on deer.
Oh yeah, and
So they hadn't dropped
April
yet?
They
on
hadn't
no.
dropped yet.
They've been running. It was two years ago. It was middle of February. We were doing a shoot out at the farm, doing video stuff, just promotional stuff. And man, here comes a buck chasing a doe middle toward the end of February and just chases her all over this field just for probably 10 or 15 minutes, just dogging her. And I was like, good night, man. He's
Well, I
still
guess
going.
I mean those does that don't get bred.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
they cycle every month until
they're
they
bred.
do. So, I mean, is it
Some of
possible
those
they
young
could
ones.
cycle? They could cycle all year until they're bred, or do y'all know?
I don't know that
I
for
don't
sure.
know
I
that.
know they do cycle back, but I don't know if it's once or if they keep going. But I do know, generally, late-born fawns and late-bred does means there's too many does,
Right.
and there's not enough
They're-
bucks
that's
to
right.
breed all the
That's
does,
right.
so they're coming in.
I totally agree with that.
I was
You
looking.
didn't sound like you didn't kill some does. Whack them and stack them.
Well, yeah, that's definitely on the agenda this
He said he
fall.
works too much. He can't. See, that's what he was telling me
Yeah, I
earlier
don't- I
today.
don't-
He was complaining about
I don't
that.
know if you know anybody could help me out with
He was
that.
working too much.
If I could get a few more weekends off this fall, I might could manage that doe population a little bit better this year.
Hey, I like my off day during the week. But you go to the woods during the week, everybody else is at work.
Hey, look, the problem with that though is my children are at the camp on Saturday, and I'm selling bows and rigging bows. On
They
Saturday.
ought to hammer them does for you and skin them out and dress them out and
I get-
process
hey,
them, get them in the freezer.
Yeah,
And
they can.
have you some backstrap on the grill when you get
They
off.
can, and they're already. Gracie flies home from South Africa in just a few days, and first
Speaking
thing,
of, she just
Shot
harvested
an
a
impala, didn't she?
yeah, she harvested an impala last.
She's over there on a mission trip. Is that right?
That's right, on a mission trip.
That's awesome.
In Botswana, killed an impala last Friday, and she'll be flying home in a few days. And the first thing she wants to do when she gets home is, "Dad, can we shoot?" Wants to shoot her bow.
Heck yeah.
So
That Africa bug will catch you. She'll want to go back after hunting
she's
that impala.
already, yeah. Well, she's already, yeah. That's on the.
Well, it's. I mean, honestly, you can go to as long as plane tickets and stuff aren't out of this world, you can go to Africa and kill 4 or 5 animals cheaper than you can go on an elk hunt.
Well, I think their round trip tickets were somewhere around $1,200-$1,300 round trip,
Yeah, that's
and
good.
from my understanding, basically $25 for the permit to hunt, but depending on what you killed, and so they really wanted her to shoot a zebra, and she was like, "Dad, I can't
Can't shoot a horse."
I can't
That'd
shoot a
be
horse."
tough, yeah, for
But
sure.
I guess the natives there, they love the meat.
They love zebra meat.
That's
They
their
love it.
favorite. And
It's
so
not
they,
zebra. It's zebra.
Oh, zebra. Okay.
Zebra there, yeah.
Well,
I've been a part of one. I filmed a guy shoot one.
Well,
we don't,
that's
not
we're
my
gonna-
favorite.
We're not gonna bring that.
that's what they.
Did you eat any of it?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
eat
we
that,
did.
actually.
Was it good?
Nope.
No.
No,
I
you
didn't
had horse
think
in your
so.
mind.
It's kind of a sweet tasting meat.
Yeah,
You
no,
had
I'm
horse the
out,
whole
dog.
time in your mind.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
But she was actually. She told me she was gonna. They were going after a hartebeest. That was what. That was
Yeah.
what she was going to shoot. And the guy that she was going with had told her if they saw a big kudu, she was just going to have to call home and say, "Hey, Dad, send me some money," because it was going to cost. But anyway, I was excited. She killed an impala.
That's really
and,
cool.
Yeah, once in a lifetime type deal. I may never get that opportunity in my life. So,
It is. It's a fun place and a fun.
but yeah, she's
Oh,
ready.
yeah.
And this is the time of year. Clayton and I got our bows out last Sunday and shot. I know it's hot outside, but it's time. Arkansas is less than 60 days away, archery season.
Wow.
So,
Does anybody know when is the earliest archery season? I know Cole's going to. You going to Wyoming?
Kyle's going too. We both
Y'all
going.
going to Wyoming in the end of August?
Sometime in there.
August
can't remember
28th,
the
I
exact
think.
dates, but yeah.
I know one of our techs, Paul, was telling me that Mississippi's going to have a velvet season this year, and so it's going to be like 2 weeks prior to Arkansas. So the 1st of September.
Is it just a few days, or does it last the whole 2? You don't know yet.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. I know there's some urban hunts that are normally like a month earlier than traditional dates. So
Yeah, I didn't realize Arkansas has an urban hunt because one of our customers who bought a Raven R10 because of me was in here couple of weeks ago, and he said,
He brought it up. I knew it was coming.
Let's hear his Ravensthorpe one more time.
It's he said he's going on an urban hunt in Arkansas. They always do it every year. They have to go up there and qualify, I guess.
I don't know how it works. I know some guys that go every year, but it's a pretty good deal because it doesn't count against you as far as, Arkansas allows you 4 deer, and it doesn't account against that. But these deer have overtaken these urban areas, and they want somebody to come in and kill them, shoot them. So it's great for hunters and great for the residents there. So
I'll be all over that.
Yeah. That's the first I'd heard about it was last week. But he was set up and was going to qualify last week. I guess you qualify about now.
You have to shoot and stuff to show that you're not.
Yeah.
Not going to shoot a house or something.
I think so.
I wish I'd have paid a little bit more attention to that part of it, but I mean, yeah.
I know, and I was too busy to quiz him too much on it, but he just said they had to go qualify, basically make sure that you don't shoot a house and you can tell the difference in a white-tailed deer and somebody's dog in their yard and stuff like that. Just.
I know it's definitely time though. We've seen the archery shop over here. We've seen business pick up over here just because people were getting it on their mind. Guys are calling about strings. Hey, can I get a new string or tune in? All those things because we're really less than 2 months away from archery season. So anybody listening out there, if you were thinking about getting a new string,
the time is right now.
Right now, strings. Right now they're about 2 weeks out, 2 to 3 weeks out. So I'm telling you, if you want to do it, you need to pull the trigger now.
How's everything else been all right as far as get like arrows and stuff in stock? Is it bad, tough, or is you got them?
No. I tell you, we've been really fortunate this year as far as inventory, stock. We've been able. I feel better prepared for tent sale this year than I have since I've been here. Last year we didn't have sights, we didn't have arrows. We were short on a lot of things. This year we've got plenty of everything in stock, and we've got a wide variety of everything. Last year I had this is all I've got.
Yeah.
This year we've got a little bit of everything, and I don't really have an issue. Even if we're short on something, I think everybody's pretty well stocked up.
Well, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back and get in a little more deer.
Hang on, just call. Hey, boss.
Hey, y'all still up there?
Yeah, we are. We're finna wrap it up.
Tell them girls set the alarm and SWAT team's on the way.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah, the alarm ain't go. I was fixing to say the alarm ain't going off.
Well, the Secretary just called and said it was going off all over the store. So.
All right, I'll go up there and turn it off.
Okay.
All right.
Since the beginning, Browning has strived to be an industry leader in innovation and technology. Speed, reliability, and one of the lightest recoiling shotguns on the market today, the Maxxis 2. Browning, the best there is.
You want to bring us back?
I've been trying to get Rev to do this, but he really.
I still ain't got it. Hang on. No, still ain't got it.
All right. Welcome back to the Simmons Sporting Goods All Things Hunting Podcast. Been talking about a little tent sale, no tax, feeders, Herschel Walker being a senator in Georgia, and amongst some other things, and we'll talk a little feeder strategy. Then we're gonna get y'all into we also big buck contest. Of course, awards day is always first Saturday of March here at Simmons Sporting Goods, but you can we score deer from October the 1st until the last day of January. Any entry enters into a drawing to win a $10,000 shopping spree. The largest typical deer within 150 miles of the store. Is that right?
That's right.
Miles? So the largest typical deer within a 150-mile radius wins a Can-Am four-wheeler from our good friends down at House of Cycles in West Monroe. They're a big sponsor of ours. And then all kinds of prizes for all places from, all our vendors. Realtree, big sponsor of that as well. Usually got some guys on hand here. They usually do a gun or some kind of good door prize for just for the audience. So if you do kill a deer this year, even if it's not a monster, enter it, because any buck you could get drawn for a $10,000 shot.
I tell
spree at
people
Center
all the
Sporting
time,
Goods.
just, hey, it doesn't matter if it's a spike, 4-point, whatever, bring it up.
Well, and there's a big spike division. That's one of my favorites.
Longest spike wins something. I mean,
Not just something, some
really good stuff.
Good prize.
awesome prize.
Awesome
A
prizes.
garbage sack, a big
Big.
garbage sack, 50-gallon, whatever garbage sack is full of
Yeah,
stuff.
we give away lots of guns,
Guns,
bows, crossbows,
everything.
optics, clothing, feeders. It's
Yeah.
so yeah. If you kill a deer, please bring it.
Don't think it's got to be a big, monster, mature, all that stuff. You bring it, you enter, you get a chance to win. $10,000 in here, man, will go a long way.
I don't know.
I don't know about me.
I could burn it.
Well, I mean,
Cole would buy 3 deer stands and burn that
Well,
10 grand
I
real
think-
quick.
I
I'd
think
buy
the
2
kind
deer
of the way-
stands and 2 scopes, and I'd be out of here. Well, 1 scope costs one I like, but yeah.
He got that Cadillac taste. Is
I
what
mean, I
he
think
got.
I think everybody though would like
Just glitter and
$10,000.
shine.
$10,000 in Simmons, though. I mean,
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
right.
sweet.
Is the spike category limited by mileage?
No.
Oh man, have y'all
no,
seen?
that's on the 4-wheeler deal only.
Okay, have y'all seen the spike that's on
Now-
social media right now that looks like a longhorn?
Uh-uh.
Mojo,
Now,
I
Will-
saw Mojo put literally looks like a longhorn cattle.
Mojo posted that.
Yeah, biggest like crazy. I'm gonna,
Where's it at?
I don't know. I'm
Okay,
gonna figure it out.
I'll throw that
we might
out
go.
there. It does have to be a free range, legally taken
Yeah.
free
Yeah,
range
free
deer,
range.
no
Yeah.
high fence, no.
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
I'm not
anything
sure
like
if
that.
Not
that's
something you
high fence
raise
or
in
not.
your backyard.
I'm still gonna look see where this spike is, and if I show up with a longhorn spike, y'all
I think
just
last
y'all
year,
know.
like 16, 17-inch spike is.
There's been some good ones.
Yeah.
There's been some
Last
good
year,
ones.
the
I
spike
always
last year was
enjoy
was
that.
the biggest spike I'd ever seen in my life. No joke. I mean, it's a good one. Wouldn't have thought twice. Like bam on the ground as soon as I saw it mounted, taxidermy on the wall.
So, feeders. When y'all set a feeder, what do you?
So
Where do you set it? Why do you put it there? Do you just put it X amount of distance from a stand? Do you look for a pre-existing trail?
Yeah, hunting in Midwest and out west, generally we're trying to put a feed station or feeder or dump it on the ground, whatever you want to call it, on in a transition area between bedding and their main food source.
Not a destination spot.
Yeah, it's not the destination spot because they usually get to the destination spot too late to shoot them. So you want to make them come by you on their way to that, or coming back from that in the morning.
That's good thinking, because I think a lot of guys around here, and I thought that way for years. I mean, we set up and we're destination spot, and so those deer stage outside that destination spot,
That's right.
waiting for it to get dark and come in usually after shooting out.
That's right.
Well, and it's not always good to shoot your deer. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying don't do it. We do it every year, but shooting your deer at dark
Right.
on a food plot or a big wheat field,
Yeah.
big alfalfa field, whatever it is, and then you're burning them out. I mean, if you ain't killing but a couple, I don't want to get too particular on it, but it ain't good to.
No,
to
but we're weird.
run it out
Me
all
and
the
Cole
time.
are weird about pressuring the deer. That's what he's
Sure.
talking about, is pressuring your deers, killing does on your food plot when there's other deer around, stuff like that. We try to avoid that. And as far as pressuring your deer, if a deer puts a negative connotation with anything, whether it be running into you, a coyote, or whatever, you want that to be during their transition period, instead of, if they keep getting bumped negatively while they're eating, they're going to go somewhere else and eat.
For sure.
Or
you
they're
know,
bedding.
Or
either
they're
way.
bedding, yeah. Bedding's probably even worse because then they change their whole
I
habits.
guess though, for guys around here, local guys, and I guess Caleb and I really understand this though. I mean, there's no food source, not a lot of food
Not
source.
a big major food source.
Major
the
food
feeder
source.
is the
so
food
the
source.
feeder is the
Yeah.
destination. It is the food source, and so I mean, unless you're hunting near some fields, beans or crop
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, or unless you plant a food plot, then your feeder is the destination.
That's right. And I've seen that, too. Where I grew up hunting in the piney woods and the oak bottoms, the deer they're more browsers,
Yeah.
to and from because they're all looking for white oaks here, red oak. You know, they just
That's
have
right.
to go.
Right.
They can't just go to one place and chill there all night and get all they
No.
want. They got to move around. So that does make it a little different. Then I would say, if I'm hunting in Louisiana or somewhere where a deer doesn't have a giant destination place, you want to get as close to his bedding area without letting him know that you're there. You know, that's your best odds of killing that deer in the daytime. You know,
You shoot deer at night?
No, but I'm just,
Okay.
it's
Just wanted
it's
to
been
clarify
done.
that.
So
He said he didn't answer that quickly. No,
Yeah, he
no,
did.
no.
no,
I mean, just
no.
boom, right
no,
there.
no.
You ain't been riding on the Wallace farm, have you?
Hey, we are law-abiding citizens there on the Wallace farm as long as my brother's out of town.
Now growing up, a little different. At hunting camp stuff, and it was a different
Oh,
time
it was.
and place
It
back
definitely
then.
was.
For sure.
Absolutely.
The world was different. You know,
I knew a
hunting
guy,
was different.
a good friend of mine, he said that his grandfather, his theory was you hunted the deer when the horns are hard. And he said that when they would get out of school in the evening, he don't condone that, don't do it to this day, whatever. But he would get out of school when he was a kid, his grandfather would pick him up and they go to their camp. He said when they get, about the time they got to the camp, Dukes of Hazzard was coming on TV.
Friday
And
night.
so Friday night they watched they watched Dukes of Hazzard. He said right after Dukes of Hazzard went off, Dallas come on.
Mm-hmm.
He said when Dallas went off, it's time to go
Go
hunt.
ride.
He said get
That's
the
right.
light, get the 270, we going.
Golly.
Those were the good old days.
You don't hear about it as much anymore. I mean,
No,
you got so many
I
people
think-
that protect their land, which is good, and
It is.
game wardens too. I mean,
I think more people were more mindful of that, and
Yeah.
they're trying to preserve the hunting, and they want to grow mature deer, and they try to, do everything that they can, to respect the animal. And I don't know, it is a different day that we live in.
Yeah. It's how we operate now as far as preserving deer, is that we manage all our deer and big bucks and stuff. Yes, to kill big deer this year, but we almost do it to have a better year next year. You're always
That's right.
looking forward to the future. That we want to kill some good ones this year, but there's some that are borderline that may be great next year. We always seem to end up trying to let them walk.
I
don't
don't
know if
where
that's
those
good or bad,
go the
but-
next year they don't ever come
They-
back.
they
to my
never.
farm.
Every
I'm
year,
like, man, that deer.
every year I have 2 or 3, what I would call 2-year-old 8 points,
yeah,
and
about
I'm
100
like,
inch, 110 inch.
yeah, and I'm like,
man, that
next
deer's-
year,
yeah.
that's going to be a pretty good deer. We
If
might
he
try
survived
to,
a couple years, he could be
absolutely.
good deer. But
Next year never comes.
the next year you got that same
Same.
2.5-year-old
Where
100 inch 8 point. I was
Where,
like,
where
did
did those
this deer
deer
not
go?
get older? What the heck happened?
is everywhere.
I like
But
it so
as soon
aggravating.
as you go shooting that 2-year-old, maybe me and some
Oh,
other
yeah.
guys talk about it, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
what
I
it
mean,
is,
what?
man.
My theory.
We get discouraged with it too. I mean, it happens everywhere I've ever been. It's like, man, where did he? I know he didn't get shot. I know I didn't
Yeah.
talk to the neighbor unless he went 10 miles that way. But I had him at the end of the year, and he didn't. I'm like, man, who knows? There's a
Well,
lot of.
And that's the deal with feeding, though. I mean, if everybody in your club is feeding, the deal is, every year I'm like, dude, I got this buck on camera, and I'm not telling anybody.
Well-
but everybody's got the same
And it's-
buck in my club
Yeah.
on camera.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
a-
telling anybody. And finally, after it's been Thanksgiving week, everybody's, sharing notes, and they're like, man, you seen this deer? And I'm like,
I ain't
heck
seen him in
yeah,
a couple days.
that's my hit list. I mean, he's on top of the hit list, right? And they're like, yeah, I've been looking for him too, But
Well, that's the good thing about running cameras early. It's because some of the mature deer, when it gets to that certain time frame, wherever you're at, it's different times everywhere. They ain't gonna hang with that other buck. They ain't gonna hang with that other
No.
mature deer. So you wonder where they go. But if you're not putting out feed, or you're not checking cameras, putting on trails, food plots, whatever, or trying to learn
hey,
your deer early, you're not gonna know if that deer was here in the summer or
preparation is key. You got to put in the
100%.
time. You got to put in
Because
the time.
when it comes down to us, I don't know. Everywhere's different. It can be October, November, especially November. Just about anywhere you're at, they ain't gonna. They ain't
I tell you,
gonna be just
one of the things that I've noticed just
eating under the same feeder together at the same time. Two
Right.
4 to 6 year olds that you're
Right.
trying to kill.
that mature deer, he's gonna be outside. Usually, and I don't know what it is. I hunt South Arkansas, about 60 miles across the line from here, but about November 10th or 11th every year, I'm gonna have a good deer show up on camera.
Mhm.
He's not gonna be on camera prior to that. I don't know what it is, but every year I mean,
And a lot of times- and a
I'll
lot of
have those
times-
young deer, and they'll be bachelored up.
And a lot of times you better go hunt him right then because you
Exactly.
never know how long he's going to stay.
If he's there, you got about 3 days.
Yeah.
And then he's gone.
We got that same.
The other
same thing,
deal
yeah.
is, once a couple more weeks in November, and they start rutting, and once they start rutting, and I've always heard this, I don't know, but y'all tell me what you've heard, but they go outside of their area to
Oh, yeah.
breed, and then they come back, and that's always been the case because I'll have him on camera for a short time. He's gone for a week or 10 days, and then boom, he pops back up.
Dude, they'll go longer than that.
Yeah,
They'll come back. It's crazy. You think he gets shot and he shows back up at the end of the year. It's crazy.
So
I don't know if, and a lot of times I think it contributes to more than does is there's a dominant
Sure,
buck there
that's right.
that's not letting it. He doesn't want to fight him all the time, and he said, I'm going to go run somewhere else.
yeah, well,
And talking about feeders and preparation, I think, the earlier you can get those feeders going, the better. And some of those that run them year-round, kudos to you for having the work ethic
absolutely.
to get out there and do it. But the earlier you can get them going, the better. And if you do get that good deer on camera in September, I think your best window of opportunity to kill him, especially if you're trying to, pattern him to the feeder, is those first few days of bow season.
100%.
Nobody's, nobody's
Absolutely.
been pressuring him. He's been coming there
You know-
every day. Sometimes the bucks are still together. They're not split. Chasing does. There's no acorns on the ground.
I sold, we sold a ton of crossbows over the last couple of years, basically because a guy will come in and say, hey, man, I really got this good deer on camera, and I don't think he's going to make it till gun season. I want a crossbow where I can get, that allows you to get in the
Chance
woods.
to hunt him. Yeah.
That's right. That allows you to get in the woods a couple weeks prior to primitive or, gun season, and gives you an opportunity to kill that buck and pattern him before gun season rolls around, because then pressure, they get locked down, they move, your odds go way down.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Another thing about that first week of bow season around here anyway, most of your crops are dried out, or even if you are around cropland or another food source, most of your crops are dried down or been harvested, so there's no food in those ag fields. Your acorns hadn't hit the ground, and your food plots are not up enough to
Right.
really create
right.
a good food source. So
That
if you got a
feed,
feeder
that's
going,
right, that feed,
that is the primary food source.
yeah.
Shoot, we live in a place where you cut corn at the end of July and early August.
There's
and-
some
and
that are
so-
cut right now.
Oh, I know.
Over
Especially
towards
east.
the
Them boys
Madison
in
Parish and-
Rayville down there, I seen Patrick and them, they're cutting.
Yeah. There you go.
So, I don't know that it is a big, big help. I mean, to be able to bring those deer in, draw them in, hunting over feed. You can set that feeder up, or your food source right there, 20 yards, 30 yards, whatever you feel comfortable shooting, and know where your shot's going to be. It gives you a little bit of an advantage.
And some people think hunting over feeders cheating or this.
No, no.
You're talking to somebody who's. I'm not a purist when it comes to this. I mean, you go hunt, have fun, shoot the
fun.
deer.
Yeah.
If it's legal,
Yeah.
if it's legal. I mean, we ain't gonna
Method.
get into all
That's
that, but
it.
if it's legal, shoot the deer.
Well,
Over the feed, whatever.
I
Kill the deer.
will bring this up though, because of some chronic wasting. There are several parishes in northeast Louisiana that are not able to feed
Mhm.
this year, and I know some guys that are, they're trying to figure out, hey, what can we do? How are we going to change our strategy now that we can't supplement with feed? How are we going to kill deer? And I know, Louisiana Wildlife Fisheries made these decisions based on what they think is best for the deer population, and in Louisiana. And so it kind of makes you think about, okay, how do I go about this now? What do I do?
It's gonna be, and I think.
Does
we're
that
talking about-
affect you?
It's Madison, Tensaw, and I believe Franklin.
Yeah.
And I think it's if you have the capability, is definitely spend more time and money into your food plots.
Food plots. That's what you got to
Fertilize, all
go.
that. You
What-
got to.
As you understand it, does that affect mineral, or is it just don't know?
I would say it
I would
is
think
because
it's
it's
everything.
a
That's
baiting
supplemental.
site. It's
That's
a baiting
supplemental.
site. Yeah,
Okay. So
I would think
so
so.
that's a
basically,
different-
food plots is basically all you can do, right?
Yep.
Well,
How many big deer on outdoor TV you think are killed within 20 yards of a pile of corn that you don't see on camera?
We won't even get into
let's
that.
bunch.
don't even go there.
I
Don't even
guarantee
go
it's
there.
a bunch. A lot
You
of
know-
ours. If we're hunting in a bait state, there's bait around,
Oh,
whether
yeah.
you see it or not.
Absolutely. If it's
And that's a lot. That's a
If they
lot.
tell
of
you
if you
outdoor
can lawfully
guys.
bait, there's
Yeah.
bait there.
You dang
You
right.
may not see it, but it's there.
You dang right. There might even be a feeder that's camouflaged and look like a cedar tree.
That
stuff.
could very well be true.
You're dang right.
They have to tell me, they're like, hey, don't shoot him at the feeders. Let him get away from them. I'm like, why?
Why?
Nah, you
That
can't
was
put-
more Sportsman Channel. That was not more.
Yeah,
us
Sportsman
on
Channel
that.
used to tell us can't be
shoot.
a feeder in the frame.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily our rule,
Well, that wasn't ours, but that was Sportsman Channel
Unless you-
in order to air it.
unless you're Jordan Wiggins and you shoot him with his mouth
Mouth
on the
in,
spout.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Y'all will see that one in a couple of weeks. We're gonna air that video. We like I
He
said, we
didn't-
don't care.
He don't care.
He don't care either.
And I wouldn't either.
No.
And,
no.
You hunt hard.
Heck
A
yeah.
lot of time, money, effort. Man, kill the deer.
Well, like you said, I mean, people think hunting over bait is, I mean, that's cheating or that's easy. No.
That's to each their own.
No. Hey, you set your butt in a
I won't
tree
even argue
and
with it. To
you
each their own. Do what you want
That's
to
right.
do.
and you put in the time and the hard work and you draw back on a mature buck and then tell me it's cheating.
It almost makes it harder a lot of times. Like a big
Exact-
buck,
they
and he
walk-
knows if they're
that's
gonna
right.
go
They're
get
gonna
your
be
wind
on
and-
edge.
Well,
They're
you
gonna be on
have
edge.
to when you hunt a food source like that, man. You limit yourself to
Absolutely.
windage of what winds you can hunt that food source.
They're going to come in downwind of
They're
that
gonna try
food
to
source
circle it.
every time.
That's
Every
right.
time.
I'm telling you, it is 99.999% of the time.
Exactly.
And then you got to fight them does who are eating, looking at you at the same time.
That's
like,
right.
I
They're
know you're
gonna
there.
bust you
I know
before
you're
he
there.
does.
I know you're there. I know you're there. And it's like,
You harvest a mature doe, that's about like 160, 170 inch buck.
especially around here,
Heck yeah.
it really is. You've done something.
If y'all never hunted around a bait pile or whatever you want to call it, like I said, and you get a big doe in there, and she knows you there, and she knows you're there.
She's on watch.
She's on watch. She and if
then
you sitting there with a bow, you're like, I'm gonna wait till she gets quartering away. It will not happen. She will stay quartering to you or facing you the entire time until she leaves because she see you out of her peripherals,
Exactly.
and she'd be doing that jerking her head up and stomping.
It's
and-
almost easier to kill a mature buck if
Exactly.
because he's not on it as alert. That may
And
sound
if you
crazy.
if you tell somebody that, they look at you like
Then you
you've
got
lost
a
your
doe with
mind.
a yearling or doe and two yearlings coming in. Oh
No.
gosh, you're automatically like, do not move.
Move, exactly.
He's 100 yards out, looking. Do not move.
in
Well,
Texas.
I think we've conditioned these deer though,
Oh,
no
doubt,
yeah.
no doubt.
for sure.
because you can go other areas where they
Oh.
don't feed,
Yeah,
they don't pay you no attention.
no.
In Texas a couple of years ago on the same hunt, a doe comes in and I'm like, I'm about to shoot her with my bow. She's 32 yards. I shoot, I aim, a third of the way up her body. She jumps string and shoots over top of her back. She runs off. About 20 or 30 minutes later, a good 10 point comes in there, standing in the exact same spot. I'm like, all right, I'm going to shoot a little lower on him. And I put it kind of on his brisket.
Shut up.
I shot. He did not move. And I hit him right in the brisket, too low. He survived, and just didn't even flinch. But she's like come out of her
Yeah.
shoes, when I shot. Just
They are
so
on,
alert.
They are on guard, alert. I mean, wow.
Yep.
What about when you set a feeder? What time do you set it, and for how long do you feed it?
That's the golden question every time we set one. Whether it's summertime, hunting time, when do you want it to go off?
So you set it 30 minutes after daylight? Do you set it?
Nah.
I think it's too late.
So a lot of times the feeder will spook the deer. So if they're standing around it,
Waiting on it to
sometimes
go off.
it'll spook them and they won't come back. But so I
Anywhere
guess
but Texas.
yeah, Texas it goes off and here they come.
There they
Yeah,
run.
Jackson, he wants to get a remote like Mr. Jeff's got out there in Sonora.
You guys that don't hunt with
Turn that
corn and
feeder
feeders
on,
in
get them
Texas,
deer to come.
call me.
Yeah.
Let me know who you
Yeah.
are. Let me know who you are.
I'm like, son.
Well,
that
I
don't work like that.
remember some of the first feeders I had. They were photo cell, and so
Oh,
they went
yeah.
off at daylight and they
Yeah.
went off at dark.
Yeah. I would say what we've probably done the most is about 30 minutes before daylight, about the same time we would usually be arriving there, we'll have the feeder go off. Now, because usually it clear the deer out, you can get in there, but then if we got a big buck coming to that, we'll usually try to beat him in there by an hour.
Right.
Right.
One
'cause he
negative
may
is
show
he
up
can be in
20
there before daylight and you can't
Yeah.
do nothing for 20 more
Right.
minutes.
Right.
And so That's a tough question. I definitely don't want it going off after daylight because the deer may be gone back to their bed at that point. Because a lot of times we've seen that it doesn't matter what you're feeding the deer. If he's on a pattern and he's at his bed, close to daylight, you can't keep him there any longer unless it's severe weather.
So you would say at least hour, 30 minutes before?
Yeah, 30 minutes before daylight
Maybe
would
not
be.
an hour before daylight.
But 30 minutes before?
Yeah.
What about these guys? I know some guys, they tried it for several years, and they were feeding 12 o'clock straight up in the day. They only fed one time a day. They fed 12 o'clock straight up in the day.
I got several friends of mine that do that.
They think they're trying to outsmart these deer, but, I mean.
Yeah. If they were feeding enough corn that it would last 24 hours,
that would be okay.
that would be
There's
okay.
no way,
I
I think, with pigs and everything else,
Yeah.
that corn's still on the ground, unless you're letting it go for 30 seconds.
You know, I saw something at
That could be
ATA
expensive.
this year. A guy's got a feeder, and it's they call it. I call it a daylight feeder, but basically he's got it where it'll it's
it's
a
a trough that closes.
trough feeder that will open and close, and he's trying to condition deer to feed only in the
I
day.
like that.
Um,
That was at ATA.
I tell him good luck because we've never been able to condition
no,
them. But
you can't
maybe.
do that.
You know.
Well, this is the deal. If you're the only one doing it, they're going to your neighbor down
Oh,
the road.
right.
They're going to your buddy down the road, and they're
That's
going to eat
right.
his feed.
Right.
I mean, if you're not going to offer it to them in the nighttime,
I think this too when it comes to feeders is we've got cattle on a lot of our stuff, and the cows they won't eat if the corn's piled up they'll crush it. Protein feeder they get they'll empty it in one night. But when the corn's
Scatter.
spread thin, they don't bother it as bad, but it kind of keeps them hanging around looking for piled up corn, and the deer don't really like that. They don't care to be on the same property as cows, but they're not going to be 15 yards from them. So we're trying something this year where we've fenced in some of our feeders to keep the cows out, because I think the properties that we get hunted hard around us that don't have cattle and they have feeders, I think the deer are getting killed over there because we have cows and it's keeping the deer going to the neighbors.
I know I've got several guys kind of in my circle that they're battling hogs, and so
same thing with hogs for sure.
They've started putting up panels, hog panels around their feeders to keep the hogs out so that the deer can come in, and that's something
We do it on all ours in Texas.
Yeah, and that's something that you need to do early. Don't wait till season, or wait till you late to put out your feeder, and then you need to condition
Get
those,
that
or
deer
not
used to
necessarily. That's
jumping
right.
in there.
Get
And
that
I know
deer
it's
used.
expensive, but don't make that pen too little.
No,
Them bucks don't want to be in that little pen.
spend just a little bit more money.
Make
Make
it
the pen
wide,
bigger,
big.
Right.
bigger. I think I figured out the other day because we were trying to figure out those panels are 16 foot or 18.
16
16
foot. What a
foot.
livestock panel is.
So 3 16-foot panels came out to be like 20 foot across, and you think that's kind of big, but whenever you enclose that around a feeder, it's not big at all.
That's right.
So you might want to double that, so 6 panels instead of 3 panels to get that circumference that you need to make them feel comfortable.
Those turkeys will get you corn too. They frustrating during the fall too, because they'll pick it clean.
They'll pick it clean,
And then you like,
We got some feeders that we're feeding turkeys.
That's it. That's all you
feed.
feed.
Feed turkeys. We love it though, but still,
we love
feeding
turkey
turkeys.
hunt, but man, it's frustrating.
Yeah, but you spent. Listen, I heard somebody told me corn's gonna be $11 a 50-pound bag this year.
That's probably about right.
It's $10.25 right now, where we just bought it. So
Really?
It's getting going up.
We bought 14 pallets last week.
$10.25.
$10.25. Yep.
It was $10.75. She came down 50 cents on us.
Because y'all were gonna buy so much.
No, just because her cost came down a little bit, and she does help us a little bit. This is out of state.
I may be speaking. That's just what somebody told me that they said.
it ain't cheap.
They said that's what I think that's what Bash, the store here.
First time I can ever think and remember that protein pellets, 16% protein pellets were cheaper than corn. Yeah.
I think it's gonna make a lot of folks rethink how they.
You can't just go. You ain't gonna. It's hard to buy. Shoot, we go through it like water.
Yeah,
but
that's why we fenced them off. To
If
keep
you
them,
got
keep
like
wasting.
Yeah.
like Kyle said,
You can't feed hogs and turkeys and everything else. I mean,
you can
you
pay
want
for
your
that.
deer to eat this
That's
corn.
right.
In the past, you're like, oh well, I'll put another bag of corn out. But no, when it's $6.99,
You can pay for them panels, keep them hogs out.
it's almost
Corn
double.
being the price.
you can
it is.
justify that now.
Absolutely, especially if you got a gravity feeder.
$11 corn. Yeah.
Here's something else that we'll justify. And I don't know if maybe we should or shouldn't, but Swarovski got a new thermal. That'll be a raccoon's worst nightmare that we're fixing to put to the test. Because them raccoons, you see them on camera, they just sitting there spinning the
Really?
spinning the spinner all night, just dumping a little bit of corn out.
What y'all got that thing on? 22?
Yes, we're gonna put it on. We're gonna put it on a suppressed
We're gonna put it
22
on something.
when it's
Man,
legal.
that would be
when it's
awesome.
legal, and we're gonna go
That would be awesome.
save some corn money.
I'm not real sure what a raccoon's good for.
I don't know.
Get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
If you
I
kill
hadn't
all
figured
yours,
that
you
one
can come
out.
kill all mine too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you know, Louisiana is a bait state, and I'm sure a lot of these big bucks from the big buck contest are killed around or on bait, and we love it. But this past season was probably the best as far as quality size deer that were brought in a
man.
big buck contest that I can remember. Just absolute monsters, hammers from within 120 miles that rivaled Kansas and everywhere else.
Shoot,
That
yeah.
Man, I'm talking about
You're
some of the
talking
There
best.
was one, I'll have to look back. I remember when I was announcing the awards on award day, there was some county in Mississippi, and I can't remember, and I don't even know where it is, but man, every time I was like such county, Mississippi, I was like, the heck, what are y'all feeding
I
these
think
deer over
it's
there?
right down in the boot, like in the
Like around Woodville area?
yeah,
Like,
that area down there, because I remember talking to those guys in Avoyelles Parish.
Avoyelles Parish,
What is
Louisiana.
man? I don't
Parish,
know what
there
it is in Avoyelles Parish, but I want to go there.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
they kill some hammers down there.
In fact, that young man they called Knuck killed that big deer in the mid '60s. We interviewed him at the big buck contest, and at the end of this podcast, we'll play that clip, him talking about his deer hunting with his granddad. I know it was the
he'll
best
never
time
for-
for them killed.
That's something he'll never forget.
Killed a big one. Yep.
We're gonna wrap this thing up and let y'all hear a cool deer story from Avoyelles Parish from like you said, a young man killed it with his granddad, and something he'll never forget, and cool story, and great kid too. He was fired up about it.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, tent sales wrapping up. No tax is coming up. Feeders, deer cameras. We got some deals on guns. Matthews V3 $749, cheapest you'll buy it anywhere in the country. Come on in here, get rigged up, get ready for deer season, and
Buy you a shotgun, get a free blind, layout blind. I mean, all kind of
Socko,
gimme.
if you're
Yeah.
into rifle hunting, Socko rifles, which has been a staple for a long time. You buy a Socko, you get a free tactical stock. You get a free 9mm Beretta pistol, and you get a $100 back.
Yeah, mail-in rebate.
Mail-in rebate from Beretta. So, smoking deals, come take advantage while they last, and while supplies are in stock. And if you want to lay away for no tax,
Now's
that's
the time to
coming
do it.
up too. It's the time to do it. And
And if you're too far away to get to the store, you can shop the tent sale online at
SimmonsSportingGoods.com.
Wicked Blend from Browning, the ultimate in waterfowl ammunition, featuring the Wicked Wad system. Aerodynamically stabilized for greater downrange energy and extra knockdown power. Loaded with precision bismuth and plated steel shot that delivers high energy retention with consistent tight patterns for cleaner kills and easy retrieves. Wicked Blend from Browning, the best there is.
So we got two new big buck killers here at the booth. They brought their racks with them. I'll tell you who we got. We got David Albritton and his daughter Hensley Albritton. And it looks like Hensley won. It looks like hers a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Man, I wish she wouldn't have said that.
Man.
She started grinning as soon as he brought that up.
Oh, well, Hensley, tell me about your deer.
What do you want to know about it?
I want to know how the hunt went, if you know what he scored, if your dad was trying to take the gun from you and shoot it himself, or he let you shoot it.
He let me shoot it.
Oh, that's awesome. So what happened when you saw when you went hunting and saw the deer? Did you think you were going to kill a deer that big?
We didn't even know we had it on camera. We had him about this far away from the camera. We didn't really know he was out there very much.
Wow.
Yeah, we were thinking it was about a 140-inch deer, and
Right.
yeah, 'cause where the camera was.
What did he score?
He scored 171 and 7/8.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, that's what Simmons scored him at. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. They scored him at 171 7/8. Oh,
And then Buckmaster scored him at 171 and 4/8.
yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Hicks scored him at 171 and 4/8.
Yeah, that's a gross Boone and Crockett deer. You know, it's more than just what they score as far as the hunt and being a memory that you'll remember forever. But when you kill one over 170, that's an accomplishment in itself.
How
So,
old are you,
congrats.
Hensley?
11.
11.
Is that your biggest deer?
That is my biggest deer. Yes.
What did you shoot him with a gun?
I shot him with a gun.
What kind of gun?
Ruger American 243.
There you go. Is that your gun or your dad's gun?
My gun.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Well, David, tell me about this one right here. It's
Well,
a beautiful Fort G3 deer.
there's a big debate with this deer because I scored it before taking it to Greg Hicks. David scored, and I scored it at like 169.
Right.
Well, turns out Greg Hicks scored it at 171 and 7/8.
Here you go. You better take Greg's score.
So these two deer, even though they don't look, obviously everybody's like, hers is bigger, and she
looks
grinds
bigger.
it every day, you know.
Right.
But no, you know, for both of us to kill this year and kill deer like this, it's unreal. I mean, look, we hunt Union Parish, you know. I mean, you kill a 125-inch deer, you've done something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
that's
so the fact that we've been going to Missouri for a couple of years, we're hunting, and you know, and she's been blessed to take a couple of deer in the past, but you know, I come home and told my wife, I was like, hey, it's probably a deer of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I got to experience it with her. It's probably my lifetime. You know,
Right,
I mean, this
right.
was a giant.
Right.
And in my eyes, and I mean, just we were on cloud nine, and then I had this deer on camera early season. As soon as he shed velvet, he went missing, and I thought, all right, you know, neighbor's gonna get him. What's gonna happen? You know, had some history with him. Didn't realize till later that it was him. Had some pictures of him last 2 years, middle of summer. On a camera, and just gone. Never had him during season at all.
Right.
But after I went back, I know it's him going on his eye guards, this and that. But he added G5s and just a lot more time like that split this year. But you know, he went to pop in on camera, and I went to chasing him, and I set some all-day sets, miserable.
Right.
And then finally, December 12th, 4:40, I look, and he's standing in the edge of the plot, and all the does, you know, all the body language changed, you know, when a big deer hits the field.
Right.
And about an 1.5 acre food plot, and I'm like, there's no way, you know. I mean, he's 80 yards down there. The does are on that side. There's nothing on this end of the field, but I put out some doe pea, and I'm like, maybe, you know. I mean,
Right.
and, sure enough, here he comes.
Mm.
And he gets to about 40 yards, and he stops and he looks up at me, and I'm like, I'm already standing. I'm like, I ain't moved. No way, you know. I'm like, he stands there. I'm like, well, at least laid eyes on him, you know what I mean? And he drops his head, comes a little further. He comes all the way up to about probably 24 yards, but he was so close where the food plot was. There's some small oaks and stubble that have grown up. He was so close I actually couldn't shoot him. I needed to be a little further out, or hit my lane that I had.
Right.
And I'd hung some scent slightly to my right, and he came up there and smelled that, and then he stops and looks up at me again. I'm like, no way. And he turns and starts quartering away toward those does, and I drew back because I had a quartering away shot.
Right.
And there was a big old doe out there. She got a double throat patch. I see her on a regular basis. Well, she went from, you know, looking, you know, alert, kind of watching him, to she went full alert. Well, when she went full alert, he stopped. And just, man, meant to happen. Lord put it all together is all I can say. Because when she flared her ears, you know, and kind of her body language changed, he stopped. And when he stopped, I stuck it in the back rib and right out the front shoulders. When he left, I knew it was, you know, gut, liver, lung, you know,
Right.
out.
You know,
I knew,
good.
but I also knew that, you know, it's a deadly shot, but, you know, it can be tough tracking sometimes.
Deer,
and,
you never know about these whitetail.
And he, I was able to watch him over about 60 yards run away, and I seen him spitting blood out there. So I was, you know, you're confident, but you question everything, and, you know, so it just went into.
Right. Well, that's two tremendous deer, especially for an archery kill too, and an 11-year-old killing her biggest buck. It don't get no better than that.
No, it doesn't.
It don't, and that's what I've told her. We're just so blessed. Number one, harvest animal of this caliber. Number two, do it in the same year and be able to share the experience with her. I mean, it's just something that very, very special. I mean, it's.
I know that's something Kyle and I still talk about growing up hunting with our dad. So,
you know,
means
that's a lot.
Those stories mean more to us than big deer we've killed
I
over the
agree.
years, and
You know, I mean, I look back and, you know, I've got a 117-inch deer that's on the wall I call gray deer that was my first real bow kill, you know what I mean?
Right.
I stressed over that thing and hunted him and finally got him, and you know, and that deer really, it probably means more than any deer I've got on the wall, you know what I mean? Because all the energy, all the time that went into it, all the planning and the preparation. I mean, did I plan and prep for this deer? Yeah, absolutely, but I mean, it's not.
Right.
Still wasn't the same, you know what I
I
mean?
understand.
It's not always the size that makes a trophy. It's all about the hunt, you know. And that hunt I'll never forget. I mean, that's just, you know, I mean,
the biggest thing, you had fun.
I had a lot of fun.
That's all that matters. You keep having fun.
we were making faces in the stand and in the
Yeah.
ground blind and this and that thing walked out and she's like, "Daddy, binoculars," and I'm like, it's been like 105-inch 8-point out there or whatever, and he'd been in and out on and off, and she said, "Binoculars," and I said, "Is that the same deer?" And she's like, she's kind of twitched her head real
She
quick.
said, no, he's bigger.
I looked at her and her eyes were all locked in. I leaned over and triangle
The
window in the blind, and I lean over and all I see is that G4. I'm like, "No, baby, gun," and it went quick from there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no pre-roll if we'd been filming. Let's put it like that. It
It's
happened
all right,
quick,
yeah.
but
Well, congratulations, and we thank y'all for shopping at Simmons Sporting Goods and being here today for the Big Buck Awards Day, and we hope y'all enter 2 more big ones next year.
That's right.
She ended up getting 3rd in the open division with her deer.
Wow,
So
Awesome.
that's great.
crazy.
Well, thank y'all again.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
What is it that distinguishes the best? A wanting to defy reason, disrupt industry, and captivate the imagination. To be better, you should look further, dream bigger. Aspire by Bandit. Superior.
Welcome back to the Simmons Sporting Goods All Things Hunting Podcast. We're at the Simmons Sporting Goods Big Buck Awards Day, and I got Knuck and Knuck with a big buck right here that he killed here in the home state of Louisiana, right?
Avoyelles Parish.
Man, we just did 3 deer from Avoyelles Parish. This Avoyelles Parish killed some good deer this year.
What place did that deer come in?
First for the year.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. What did he score, Knuck?
He scored 182 and a half.
182 and a half. You know how many points he had?
I think it was 14 scoreable, but I mean we like to count this.
You
so.
hang a ring on them if you can. If you can hang a ring on them, you count them. I know I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So that's a great deer. Well, tell us the deer story. Tell us what happened, how it happened.
All right, so this story starts on New Year's Eve. So I'm at my friend Mitchell's house, and we're duck hunting. I don't really duck hunt much, but so when I get the opportunity to, I like to go. So we're duck hunting. We don't see nothing. We get out at 9, and their dads are talking, and we stay at the little camp for 3 hours before we leave. We get out of there at 12. I'm supposed to go to Jonesville at Black River Lake for a New Year's party, and my sister, she kind of falls sick, so we decide not to go. But one of the main reasons we didn't go is because right when I got in the car, Mom said, "Dad got a surprise for you." So when I got home, he showed me the picture of the deer. He was like that toward the camera, and I saw that picture. I was like, "Oh, I'm hunting." So we were gonna go that afternoon to Jonesville, but we didn't because my sister fell sick. So we decided to go hunt for the afternoon. So I get in the stand. I mean, it's chill. It's not cold. Don't see nothing. And then the next morning, I hunt morning and afternoon. This is New Year's. Don't see anything.
Right.
Same thing January 2nd. Don't see anything. January 3rd. Don't see anything. January 4th, I decide to take off the morning. And then that afternoon I go to the other stand.
Right.
And we get home. We're watching the LSU Kentucky basketball game. And my Uncle Donnie, he drew back on a buck. It was an 8-point. He was anxious to see that picture on a spy point. And then at his son's stand, like probably 200 yards from where I killed this deer,
Right.
he shows up at 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock coming from my stand.
Okay.
So I'm like, I
The
missed
day,
my chance.
was that the day you slept in?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
It was the day.
Did you know? Did you know this deer earlier in the year?
Not at
Y'all
all.
didn't even know he
we
was
didn't
there.
get a picture till December 31st.
Holy cow!
So it's the last day of Christmas holiday. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to kill the deer. I go back to school in the morning, and at 1:30, he comes and checks me out of school. He said, "You go and pick some cabbage."
That's a good dad right
he said,
there.
"You go and pick some cabbage at your other grandpa's house." I didn't buy it because he tells me that all the time.
Right.
So he brings me hunting. We get in the stand at like 2:30, 3. We're sitting there, nothing. At 4 o'clock, I take my extinguisher and give him a big grunt.
Yep.
And then we're sitting there. At like 4:15, I hear something in the bushes, and I look over. I think it's a little raccoon or something. I mean, I don't think much of it.
You didn't get too excited.
I didn't get real excited because I hear stuff all the time,
Oh,
like
yeah.
birds and all kind of stuff. I just see a brown body, and then I look toward his face, and I just see this side.
Oh.
And he's walking through the woods, tangling his head in the trees.
You knew it was a
And
monster?
I knew it was him. I said, knock at him, knock at him, knock at him, like 3 times. And I'm like, he's like, where? And I nodded my head over there. And he says, all right, get your gun out. Put my gun up. 5 seconds later, he pokes his head out around the corner. We have a little corner. And he pokes his head out. I put my gun on fire. I said, now? Well, actually, when I was getting the gun, I bumped the
Oh, it
gun
always
on my
happens.
arm. I was like, oh. And then I have my gun up on fire, and he walks out. He's quartered away. He's walking away. I said, now, like asking Knuck when to shoot.
Yeah.
He goes, now, and pow, before he gets out the W. And he was walking quartered away, probably 35 yards, and pow, jumped and kicked, ran in the woods, head down. I mean, I don't know if I killed him.
You felt good about it?
I felt good about the shot. And we get down 20 minutes later. But meanwhile, my Uncle Paul and his friend Corey Juno, they're coming from work to re-put a trail camera at their spot.
Right.
They had a bow stand, and they're putting the camera, and Knocker calls him. It's like 3 minutes after he pulled up. I shot 3 minutes before he pulled up.
Yeah, there you go.
And then he calls him. He said, and Knocker said, Graham shot. He said, all right. My uncle dropped the camera, and we have a little crossing between the field, and he came all the way across. And the deer was like dead here. We didn't know, and we were coming from here.
Mm-hmm.
And then my uncle's coming down this turn road when he sees the deer. But he doesn't know if it's the deer or trees. He notices that it might be the deer,
Something's in the turn road.
but he doesn't say anything. Meanwhile, me and Knuck had been looking for probably 10 minutes.
Yep.
Not a speck of blood. So they pull up. They start looking about where the initial impact was. And I'm kind of at the beginning of the woods, and Naka's deep in the woods looking. And all of a sudden, Naka says, come here. Load your gun, because I'd unloaded my gun because I didn't want to go in the woods with it.
Right.
And I'm thinking he's either alive, standing right there, or he's like running away or dead right there, just squirreling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he says, look, he's right there. I'm like, where? On the ground. And I looked, and I just saw him like he was facing back. I was like,
see them big horns,
It was a huge sigh of relief. And I went up to him. I grabbed him. My uncle was like, put your hands on him. I don't want to be the first one to touch him. So I get all the pictures ready and all that. We load him up. We get back home. Pretty much the whole town of Bunkie came.
I bet they did, man.
It was
That's
crazy.
That's a deer of a lifetime.
Deer, yeah,
What'd you
man.
shoot him with?
270.
Good.
Yeah.
That'll do the trick.
I know your daddy appreciated hunting with you and being in the stand with you and sharing that memory with you. So.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? So deer hunting's your favorite?
Pretty much. I like deer hunting. I like squirrel hunting. Though.
Okay.
I love some squirrel hunting.
Yep.
I like fishing too, but deer hunting probably
Man,
has to take it.
You kill some deer, takes it for us too.
Because the reward's greater when you kill a deer like this.
Oh, way
than
better.
Killing a couple squirrels or.
A couple of ducks or catching a few fish.
I tell you what, though, that squirrel hunting will turn you into a real good shot and a hunter.
And he squirrel hunts with a 22, so it makes it a little special.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's what he squirrel hunts with, and it's a lot of practice, and
Paid off.
Just want to add one thing that Knuck's very fortunate. All this happened, But me being present when it happened is the ultimate award for myself. You know, it's on some private land that we own, and it's been the best deer killed back there. We've killed some 140s. The next one to that was a 155. But you know, just being present when it all happened.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Those are great deer, but this one takes the cake on that.
This one takes the cake, I'm telling you. It just, you know, it's nice color, chocolate, heavy.
We hunt together a lot, me and him and other guys, and it adds something to it when you're with somebody.
I'm telling you, it's the ultimate. For myself, it's the ultimate.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It's a lot more rewarding than what he thinks I got out of it.
Well,
yeah.
Man, we hope you're back here next year. We appreciate you coming all the way to Bastrop.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all, and y'all be careful getting home.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Come by Simmons Sporting Goods and check out the new models of the X-Bolt rifle from Browning. The best there is. Now back to the Simmons Sporting Goods All Things Hunting Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back. Simmons Sporting Goods All Things Hunting Podcast. Been busy today. I feel it too. I am whooped. We've seen a lot of deer, handled a lot of deer, talked to a lot of great people. Just, you know, I'm the general manager here at Simmons Sporting Goods. I want to say on behalf of Simmons Sporting Goods, the Simmons family, and everybody, huge thanks to all our sponsors and all of our customers. And this is kind of a token of appreciation to our customers this day, and you know, all these awards are. And we couldn't do it without those guys. You know, you guys that are listening and shop with us, you can shop. Lindsay said it today, you know, on the floor while we were presenting awards. You've got the chance. You can shop anywhere. You can shop on your phone. You don't have to go shopping, and you choose to shop with us. And you know, we do our best to give it 110%, and we always treat people right and with respect. And we really, really appreciate you guys shopping and coming out, and hope everybody had a great time today. I think they did. I think these kids were fired up, wasn't they?
I think it was a killer day. I really do.
Lots of people showing off some really good deer.
Big deer.
Just proud of them, too.
I saw Corey go outside and put some camo on. He stole some kid's deer and went over by a tree stand like he was hunting and tried to take a picture. So if y'all see a big deer on Corey's Instagram, he didn't kill it. He borrowed the horns from a 7-year-old kid and took his picture with it and photoshopped it.
He would do that. He would.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the kid was 7. I think he was 6.
He may have been 6. He may have big deer, though. So, but, yeah, man, a lot of great deer today. A lot of happy people, a lot of great prizes, and just a great day. Great turnout. We touched on this earlier. I think this was a good a turnout as we've ever had for big buck. And, you know, like Corey said, there's a lot to do, even if you're not, if you're like deer hunting, like to look at deer, and you didn't place or whatever, man, come. There's food trucks.
Well, you walk in the door, you're already eligible to win guns and prizes and gifts and all this stuff, whether you entered a deer or not.
That's it. There's door prizes. There's
to be honest with you, I think it's over $200,000 worth of gifts, over $300,000 worth of gifts. Who else does that, man? I don't know. Given away today, $300,000.
There were 3 guns given away today. One from Realtree, one from Whitetails Unlimited, and one from Buckmasters. You know, just door prize style stuff. Go sign up, give away, and do it. So there was cold beer, there was food trucks. Like I said, there was a bouncer outside for the kids. Just a ton of stuff to do, and looked like everybody had a good time sharing. And that's another cool thing to me is everybody gets to share hunting stories. You know, who knows? Somebody made a new best friend today, or a new hunting buddy, and planning a trip for next year.
Exactly.
And that's what this is all about. I mean, we talk about that all the time. Is, you know, be good to your neighbor and your fellow hunter, and we're in this together, and we need to work as a team. And I saw a lot of that today. It was really, really good to see that.
That's right. You know, I mentioned earlier about make a day to come out here, even if it's worth a drive, and I mean, shoot, the gun Realtree gave away. Those people live 5 minutes from me back in Birmingham.
And that's kind of, they live in Alabama.
Small world story
5
there.
hours away.
Yeah, I mean, that shows you it's worth the drive over here. You know, it's a big deal. So it's a fun day for sure.
We look forward to it every year, man.
We do.
We really do.
We do. We really do. So we're going to wrap this up. Coming up, you know, we'll have some spring sales, some turkey sales on our site. So be looking, checking your email. We're going to we're sending more and more email blasts. So be checking your email. If you're not signed up for our email list, sign up for our email blast, and you can do that at SimmonsSportingGoods.com. Go on our mailing list for our annual flyer, which will start in July, and then we're going our YouTube channel. So Simmons Sporting Goods, all things hunting on YouTube. A lot of instructional stuff on there. The video version of this podcast airs every time Kyle gets them. Kyle, and we owe a little thanks to Kyle. Me and Cole bump our mics and talk too low and do stuff like that, and Kyle's the one that's got to edit all that. And when Cole's over yawning right now, we'll
about
probably
15 times.
We'll have to
wow.
cut. Kyle's been forever cutting that out. Corey's coughing, Mike. So thanks to Kyle for editing all that. But he gets all that stuff edited. The video version of these podcasts go up on YouTube. So go subscribe to our YouTube. I think we're somewhere around 1,300 subscribers right now and growing. When we get to 1,500, Devin Singleton Game Calls, was here on the podcast today, and he left us one of his famous grunt calls that he, credits every deer that'll ever been killed. He credits it to the Singleton Game Calls grunt call. So when we get to 1,500 subscribers on our YouTube channel, we're going to pick a subscriber and we are going to send them a grunt call, and then we're also going to send them Devin's numbers in case they just
need it tuned better.
If they need it tuned or just want to hear some BS from him because he's full of that, or whatever, we'll take care of that. So be sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel and the email blast, and of course the podcast on several audio platforms for the guys that want to listen. Maybe you do a commute every day. I usually stick that link on my Instagram page, but
that's right.
We'll
be doing a little bit more giveaways too. Yep. Not just a grunt call. We're gonna start doing some other giveaways. So pay attention to the social media and the email blast, and make sure you're on the email blast too, because you get some good sales through there that you won't see otherwise.
There's also there's some deals that roll through Instagram and Facebook too in our stories. So be sure to Simmons Sporting Goods on Facebook and Instagram, and then All Things Hunting on Facebook and Instagram as well. And we're not even going to mention Corey's on Instagram and Facebook, but
yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
He's an influencer.
He's an influencer.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah,
influenced. He's an influence.
He is influenced. He is a discourager. How about that? A discourager.
But like Caleb said earlier, man, tell us what you like, don't like, or want us to talk about. So
absolutely, there's a comment section in that YouTube thing, and you can do it via Facebook, Instagram, on this podcast too. If there's a topic you want us to touch on, man, reach out to us and we'll research it, touch on it. We'd love to. So
that's right.
We once again appreciate each and every one of y'all, and thanks to everybody that came out today and make this event happen, all the vendors, customers, sponsors, and everybody. And been a great day, and I think we're going to go eat. How many crawfish you going to eat tonight?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sleepy, but I can always find
You can eat crawfish. About 15 pounds?
That's pretty easy, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll catch y'all next week.